Starfield might be bigger than you think. In a recent interview with producer Jamie Mallory, who you might remember as the sandwich hoarder from the Starfield Direct, she talked in depth about side quests, and they sound absolutely huge. The interview was posted on the official Bethesda site, with the interviewer asking, do you have a favourite aspect of the game you're currently working on so far? Mallory responded by saying that she's been diving deep into the quest lines of all the different factions, and she's been pleasantly surprised by the incredible variety in their storylines. She says it's like unlocking a treasure trove of captivating narratives that many folks might not even realise exist. Mallory continues that while some players might rush through the main Golden Path storyline, those intrepid explorers who venture off the beaten path and delve into the faction quests are in for a real treat. So based on what Mallory said, it seems like the side quests alone are going to be worth the price of admission. And for me personally, that's always been my favourite part of Bethesda RPGs. I remember in Oblivion how I just completely neglected the main story where you had to close down the Oblivion gates because I just hated having to cross over into the Oblivion realm. It was just all red and fiery and it all looked very depressing. So instead I hoovered up every last side quest and stayed in the lovely green forests of Tamriel. But in Starfield there will be even more side quests. It's gonna make Oblivion look absolutely barren. Mallory goes on to say in the interview that the amount of content packed into these faction storylines is truly astonishing. It's like embarking on a grand adventure within an adventure, where every choice you make and every interaction you have shapes the course of the tale. The character development, the plot twists, the moral dilemmas, I've been completely hooked, she says. Now, this is pretty massive. She basically said there's branching storylines, with your choices actually having an impact on the story. She didn't just say there's like a binary choice to make and it all kind of leads to the same outcome. The words used were every choice and every interaction shapes the course of the tale. If this is true, each player's path through the side quests would be completely unique. For example, you might save a character who then goes on to show up through the rest of the game, or you might completely miss your chance and that character will be gone forever. There's certainly enough voice acting in the game that it's entirely possible there's dialogue prepared for every little thing you might do. Starfield director Todd Howard has said the game contains more lines of dialogue than Skyrim and Fallout 4 combined. So you could maybe choose whether to answer a ship's distress call or ignore it and let them perish. Or you could pretend you're helping them but just hijack their ship and then sell it to a vendor or blow it up out of spite. Whatever you do, the game appears to be able to react to you. The scope for branching stories here is huge. Whether your actions in side quests dramatically change the game and alter how the rest of the game goes for you remains to be seen, however. We don't know how thorough the branching stuff is. To take Mallory's comments with a pinch of salt, she does say that the side quests are an adventure within an adventure. This suggests that they're self-contained and don't actually have an outcome on the rest of the game. Like maybe you'll lower your social standing if you go around eliminating everyone and stealing stuff, just like in Fallout or Elder Scrolls, but it's not like you're going to get a widely divergent story that results in a bunch of different endings like in, say, Mass Effect. Mallory ends the interview by saying these side quests offer a chance to delve deeper into the game's rich lore and uncover hidden gems that add layers of depth and excitement to the overall experience, and that it's worth taking a detour from the main storyline and exploring the world of faction quests. The rewards are well worth the extra time and effort, and that intricate storytelling and immersive gameplay awaits you. Now, I'm massively excited about this part because mainly it's the way she describes the side quests as having intricate storytelling. A big fear of people for Starfield is that many of the quests would be procedurally generated and just be boring fetch quests where you visit a random planet and do some boring tasks, like pick up an audio log or save a person. If Bethesda were to cut corners, they could just fill the game with these menial tasks, just make an infinite amount of them to keep us all busy. But it doesn't sound like they're doing that. It sounds like each side quest is being treated with massive amounts of care and they're crafting them with a huge level of detail. detail. It doesn't really matter how efficient AI is right now, like we've heard it all in the news, you just can't replace a talented writer, and Bethesda, thankfully, is full of them, so I really can't wait to see what sorts of weird adventures and crazy people we're gonna meet in our side quests. So yeah, it's not so much as I'll be taking a detour from the main story, as I'll literally be doing every single side quest before I even touch the story. As Mallory says in the interview, these side quests offer a chance to delve deeper into the game's rich lore and uncover hidden gems that add layers of depth and excitement to the overall experience. I love a bit of extra lore, so doing these side quests to flesh out the main story of the game is something I'm definitely going to be doing. There's still like a lot of unanswered questions surrounding the game's story, like what happened to Earth, what's that weird floating cube thing, so side quests will be a great chance to uncover some of the mystery around all that stuff. I have to admit, I was never fully into the Elder Scrolls lore. Like some people would just grab all the books and read every single page to find out more about the world, but I always prefer to run around and experience it firsthand. So hopefully the side quests let me experience the story myself rather than telling it to me through diary entries or audio logs. Showing is always better than telling when it comes to story, but it helps. Starfield is an inherently interesting premise with its whole hard sci-fi theme, and I'm just on board with that straight away. It's almost, for me, it's almost like looking into the future of humanity and seeing where we're gonna end up, and I cannot wait to do so. But what sorts of side quests are we talking about here? What do we mean when we say side quests? Well, there's some indications in the footage from the directs, and there are a few sneak peeks we can see that might possibly allude to some of the side quests you're gonna be able to do. For instance, at one point we see the player looking at a crashed ship in the distance. Near it, there's a character called Hela who you can recruit to your ship. This is entirely optional, as you can recruit loads of different crew, so I think the side quest here is finding this crashed ship, rescuing the survivor, and then deciding what to do with them. And if this is true, it represents a few of the moral choice decisions Mallory mentioned in her interview. Like, you could choose whether or not to answer the distress call and go and find the ship. You could choose to recruit the survivor you find, or you could choose to leave him, or you could just rob him. Whatever you do has a different consequence. There's so many choices here. So either you don't answer the distress call and you do something else, or you answer it and come away with a new crew member, or you rob him and come away with his clothes. All those consequences all tied up in that single side quest. Another type of side quest I think we'll have in Starfield is hunting. We see at one point a bunch of stuffed animals mounted in a bar, and this suggests that some people in the Starfield universe love to hunt. And let's be honest, literally every open world game seems to have hunting challenges. So given Starfield has dozens of unique species that we've seen already, it does seem likely we're gonna be hunting alien wildlife. And finally, at one point we see a character called Grandma who speaks to you on the radio as you fly past her in space. Since Bethesda have named her, she seems like she's gonna be a recurring character, and she's probably gonna give you one or two things to do. I don't know, Grandma just seems like she's given a lot of quest giver vibes to me. But how you play Starfield is, of course, completely up to you. You could take on all the side quests straight away, or you could go right into the story and get that out of the way. I'm sure you'll be able to keep playing the game after the story is completed, which is set to take around 30 to 40 hours. If you didn't want to do side quests, you could just focus on all the other stuff you can do in Starfield, like customizing your own outpost on an alien world or building weird spaceships in the shape of farm animals. But for me, it's all about those side quests. They'll tell us more about the lore of the game, give us unique paths through the game with branching decisions, and reward us with special items you can't get anywhere else. But anyway, that's my take on Starfield's side quests based on what Jamie Mallory said in the interview. But how about you? How excited are you for the side quests? Are you going to jump straight into them straight away, or are you going to leave them for later and crack on with all the other activities you can do in the game? Let me know in the comments. Anyway, thanks so much for watching this video. Remember to subscribe to the channel and click that alert bell for more Starfield videos.